Dominic Alafaci from Collins House joins us as per usual. Dominic, it's so nice to see you.
Same here, Emily. Great to see your smiling face, and you're doing a fantastic job while Darren's away.
Thank you. It's
having a ball?
Yeah, having a ball and get to hang out with all of the regulars and folks I know like yourself. Where do you want to start today, Dom?
Well, just a quick market update, and then we'll talk about something important, the Bank of Mum and Dad.
A very heavily leaned on financial institution these days.
You're not wrong. Well, overnight we saw the Dow Jones Industrial Average basically steady, put on 38 points to 42,063, whilst the S&P 500 dropped 11 points to 5,703, and the Nasdaq fell 66 points to 17,948. Across the Atlantic, London's FTSE fell 1.2% to 8,230, with the French, German and Italian bourses all weaker. Gold put on $35 to $2,632.88 an ounce, whilst West Tex meant it was steady at $71.92 US a barrel. And the Aussie dollar is up against the greenback, is currently buying 68 US cents, so Darren will get an extra $0.5 of beer in his glass, with the ASX 200 SPY down 68 points, pointing to a lower start for the week, following Friday's effort where we saw our market put on 18 points to a record-busting session to end the week at 8,209.
Excellent. Dominic Alafaci is with us right through until 10, and 133 is the number to give us a tinkle on if you'd like to put a question to our money man. Michelle does. Why don't we go to Michelle, okay, and then we'll do a little bit of Bank of Mum and Dad after that. Michelle, hello.
Hi, Michelle. How can we help?
Yes, hello. I'm just wondering, I listened to your program a fortnight ago, and just right at the end before it went to the break, you mentioned that so for a couple to have a really good retirement, they need $1 million in their super.
Yep.
But you didn't mention how much for a single person. And also, at what age are you talking retiring?
Okay, well, generally, good question. Good question. So there's sorry, Michelle, there's a couple of points you need to make. First is, you need about $650,000 if you're a single person to generate a reasonable income in retirement. And the cut-off for the age pension is about $690,000 roughly. So you'll get what that does is it gives you the opportunity to have, say, $10,000 in the bank and get underneath that pension cutout limit of $686,250, assuming you've got a modest set of personal effects and not a high-value car, because you want to get that dollar of age pension. So the pension cutout for a homeowner, single person, is $686,250. It will be going up on the very, very soon. So those figures are going to index. So call it $700,000. So I have $650 max in super, bit of cash in the bank, a car and some contents, and you'll get your nose into the trough and get a little bit of age pension. And then as you spend your money down, the age pension will go up.
Oh, thank you very much. That's been fantastic, because
my pleasure.
There's a world of single people out there as well as couples, and it's good to...
Look, I would say 80% of my customers are single women in their 60s. Okay. I get calls all the time for helping those people, and sometimes it's hard for them, harder for them, I should say, than a couple, but sometimes they're happier being single. I've got to tell you that.
There is research that suggests that.
I shouldn't be so... Dom,
not that we're saying you're not hubby of the year. Michelle, terrific of you to call in. The Bank of Mum and Dad.
Yeah, how does it work? So if you're quite wealthy, it's a powerful tool, and if you're modestly wealthy, and we'll talk about what that means perhaps during the session, but it can help you. A lot of people want to help their children, but they make the mistake of not getting their priorities in order themselves. You've got the best takeaway from this topic is make sure that you've got your own financial plan in place before you even start thinking about the children. Some very, I'll say, generous people might have an idea, I want to make sure the kids get everything, I want them to get a house, and they do it to their own detriment. So my advice is get your own financial plan in place, work out what of the scarce resources that you have, you're going to allocate to your own personal income. That's really important, because at the end of the day, living on the age pension is quite hard. You do need to have some other savings, and everyone knows that, and they've been sort of pounded since the superannuation guarantee levy came in saying, look, this is to complement super you're saving away, which is like a tax really, is to complement the age pensions, but you really need to build it up. So once you've got your own house in order, then start thinking about the kids. And as I said before, if you've got modest amounts of money, you may only be able to give them $10,000 each. And people think, oh, I'll give them 100. You may not be able to do that.
Right.
Other people who are quite wealthy, it's very powerful because you can you can gift money to children. I had this the other day with twice in the 1 week. A couple of wealthy women, and they had children. They wanted to help them, and we decided she'd gift them the money on the condition they put it into super, so they couldn't touch it until they were retired after age 60. Brilliant idea. So I've done 5 contributions of, a plan. You don't do it overnight, but, up to $1 million per child over the next 5 years.
And the power of that growth as it sits over that period of time in super is magic.
They'll never, ever have to worry about their future. They might only be 30.
Yeah.
And leave it there for 30 years. It's just an amazing impact.
What happens with your tax if you are to gift something to your children?
It's a great question, Emily. The good thing is there's no tax when you gift money in Australia. It's one of the best things about our system. You can give money to whoever you like. They can receive it. You don't get a tax deduction for it, but they don't pay tax on it.
Yes. Dominic Alafaci will take your calls on the other side of this. Nudging the 10 o'clock news, Jock, you're talking to Dominic. Hello.
Good morning, Emily and Dominic. Dominic, I am 69 and I've sold 3 properties worth about 1.7 in the last 3 years.
Yep. Are you single or married, Jock?
I want to know, single, and I have 200 super and 300 cash. Yeah,
you're not going to get the age pension, Jock, for 5 years if you give the money away because you're over the assets test limit. If you gift the money to somebody, they'll still count it for 5 years. So the single person assets test is 686,250, which is going to be indexed. In actual fact, it should have been, my software program's a bit behind. It should have been indexed on the 19th of September, and that was a couple of days ago. So call it 700,000. So you won't get any age pension as a homeowner, single person, if you've got more than 700,000. So what you got to do is have a 5-year plan. Enjoy yourself. Invest properly. Gift it if you want to gift it to someone who deserves it, and then get your nose into the bucket of the age pension food bowl that'll start with a small benefit of the pension age, the healthcare card.
There's a plan for you, Jock. Thanks for the call. Helen, hello.
Oh, good morning. My question is, I'm going through a financial settlement at the moment. Mm-hmm. I have been left with a small mortgage of about $60,000, and I happen to have from a previous inheritance an amount of about $60,000.
Yep.
Am I better off paying off my mortgage completely, or putting that amount into my super, which is quite low, having had children, and not working?
Yeah.
So I'm just not quite sure.
Helen, look, I'm old-fashioned, and I believe there is nothing better than paying off your mortgage, because you get, think about this, if you're paying, say, 6% on your home loan, you have to go out and earn about 8% or 9% equivalent, pay the tax, and then pay the 6% on your home loan. And there's zero risk if you pay off your home loan. So I would definitely pay out the home loan, and because the simple reason is you can't get 8% before tax with no risk investing in super. So I would pay off your home loan.
Thank you very much. Have you got time for one very quick question, which you may not be able to answer?
Yep.
It's just about when we're doing a statement basically about our finances. We've come to an amicable agreement.
Yep.
This might be a legal question. Can we get that signed quite simply by a Justice of the Peace? Would it be legally binding to say we're going to go 50-50 in our house sale? Or
what you're doing is doing a deed or an agreement. I don't think a Justice of the Peace can sign that. I could be wrong, but I would definitely make an appointment with a lawyer Just spend a few bucks and get it done legally.
And it would depend on how contestable that is. It's all good and well for the signatures to be done at the time, but I imagine it comes down to whether or not somebody decides down the track they want to dispute and can it be broken. Helen, best wishes to you. Look, we're not going to have time for Janine, I'm sorry, but I'll put her question to you. The $1 million rule for couples, is it still true for couples with a mortgage, Dom?
Sort of is the answer. Centrelink use sometimes logical and sometimes illogical rules. The answer is sort of. Almost yes, but there are a few asterisks that you've got to read the fine print. So sometimes they count the mortgage against an investment property, but they don't count the mortgage against other assets.
Right. We'll catch you soon. Dominic Alafaci.
Lovely to see you again.
From Collins House. It's 10 o'clock news time on 3AW.